Don't get me wrong, I love being single and I love living alone. It's great, it's fantastic, but fuck, it's expensive. I just spent $600 on brakes on my car, just on the front part of the car, because I couldn't afford all 4 brakes and axles and rotors and whatever the fuck. And then now I just paid my car payment, which is $500, so I just blew $1,100 in like 3 hours, and it wasn't even like fun, you know? Fuck. Sorry, it's just so overwhelming. Like, you work and 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 you work, and it's just to pay off like your basic necessities. And you can't, like, in this city that I live in, public transport, please. If I were to do public transport, it's like asking to get raped, and I really shouldn't be crying because now I have to go to another work event, and now I'm gonna be all puffy. I'm just... Living is so expensive. Just keeping yourself alive and floating is so expensive. And what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted is if I were to take public transport here, especially for my job requires a car. I have to have a bunch of shit that I have to lug with me for work. And I can't do that with public transport. I'm venting. Inflation sucks. Just living in America sucks. Living alone sucks. It's great, but it sucks. Because you have to front all the expenses by yourself. I need a husband just so that I can live. So we can split the bills. Hi guys. I'm really stressed today. I just went to the grocery store. Bought 10 items. And it was $80 freaking already. I literally have $10 left on my account. The fuck? So a little backstory. I got laid off from my job a month ago. And I've been applying for jobs months before I got laid off. Sent out hundreds of resumes already. Applied to hundreds of jobs on the internet, remote, and on-site. Tailored my resume to every position that I applied using ChatGPT. Went to only a few interviews. And still nothing. Like, what the fuck is going on with America right now? Like, it's so freaking hard to live here. Like, I'm gonna stay positive. I'm gonna keep applying for jobs. I'm gonna keep showing up. But man, my bills are not going to wait.
With inflation and increased prices for housing, healthcare, and education, many Americans find it hard to make ends meet. Even basic necessities like food and transportation have become more expensive. What's up, folks? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to discuss about how life is hard in America. We have different videos where many people react about this issue. Let's take our time and watch this video together. I'll come back with my commentary. All credits belong to the creator of the video.
I've been unable to stop crying for the past several days. I don't know if it was my son's hospitalization or what's going on. I just feel really, really depressed. I always feel depressed, but sometimes I can't numb myself. It's hard to come home. My house is all torn up from the mold. There's leaks in it, and I can't afford to fix it. I just feel like nothing ever goes my way. I don't know how to keep pushing. I feel like I get denied help at every corner, every turn. all I want to do is get better, and I need my son in a facility so that I can get better, and I can't get him in a facility no matter what I try. I just don't know what to do anymore. No one has answers for me. No one can help my situation. I can't fix my situation. How do you keep pushing when you have nothing left? How do I keep being what my sons need me to be when I have nothing left? I know I'm a talented person. I know I have a lot of things to offer the world, and I just can't do it. I'm just so stuck. My heart hurts so much. It's breaking. It breaks for all the people in a situation like mine. It breaks for all the people who struggle to survive and just can't. I mourn for all the human lives that just their society or culture or whoever's around them just doesn't value their life. I hate that some people's lives get valued more than others. I've always felt really deeply, like, I remember when I was 6 years old, watching a woman talk about a racial issue, and I didn't understand it. I'll have to tell the whole story sometime. It's something I'm not really ready to talk about, my past and how I grew up. But I just remember hearing what she had to say, and it didn't make any sense to me, and it hurt my soul. Like, I was crying. I can't watch someone in pain and not feel it in every cell of my body. I don't know why I'm that way. I'm extremely sensitive. And I'm the one experiencing the suffering, and so many people have helped, and it's like still not enough, and I don't feel like I can keep asking people for help. It's hard for me to watch people have fun when I don't know how I'm gonna make it through the next hour. And this has been so many years now. It's like so many years, and I just don't have any fight left. Yesterday, I broke down in front of my son, and I'm so mad at myself. I can't hold it together all the time. I just feel so alone. And I feel like I have no power. I don't know what else can go wrong. Like, I can't afford to fix my house. I think I need to sell it. But then I lose my only monthly income. I don't know. It's just like I'll lose all my wealth. People have to lose it all the time. I get it. I'm not the only one. It's just, I tried so hard to keep it, because it was the one thing I have that I built when I had health. I don't want to lose everything that I built when I quit, it's not gonna sustain me for the rest of my life if I lose it. I hope that I can turn a corner mentally and get some more fight left, because there's gonna be several months before I can even begin to have someone look at my son's case and decide whether or not he needs residential. I have to be able to survive that. I know I'm getting depressed because the winter is coming, the days are getting shorter, and it's just darker all the time, and I get seasonal depression added to my depression. And so living in Utah is really hard for that. The cold really hurts my body. I can't squeeze my hands. I can't feel my limbs. I get numb everywhere. I think it's probably like there's like a clock, a seasonal clock in my body, and my body knows that winter's coming and it rejects it and it fears it. And I don't know. There's just a lot going on.
I am so tired of feeling helpless as a parent. Yes, my kids are grown adults. My oldest is 28, my youngest is 25. And I thought by teaching them what I learned, which is you work hard, you get a good job, you're going to get the things in life that you need, right? Worked for me, why wouldn't it work for them? Because it doesn't. Because the world has fucking changed, all right? And now I feel like I see them struggling. And before my generation comes at me, yes, I understand struggling is a part of life. We all struggled. But there's a difference between struggling and drowning, all right? So we struggled and it was tough. But you know what? We made it. We knew there was a light at the end of the tunnel with our struggle. It seems like kids today, no matter how much they struggle, they just get further and further down the water into the drowning point, all right? When I was their age, I was making less than $10 an hour. And I can afford to live on my own. Now you have to be making six-figure salary to get a decent, tiny little place to live. So what the fuck is going on, and how do we help them as parents? I told my son, all you have to do is work hard, go to college, or join the military like I did. He went to college, got his degree, got a full-time job. He moved back in with me right when he graduated from college because he said, hey, Mom, as soon as I get a job, which was within 2 weeks of him getting out of college, maybe take me 2 months and I'll save up enough money for me to move out. Okay, cool. It's been 10 months. He has saved almost every dime and still can't afford to live. Why are one-bedroom studio apartments almost $2,000 a month? Why? Like, I just don't get it. So I don't even think that there's even classes anymore. There used to be, upper class, middle class, lower class. It's literally turning into the ultra wealthy and then everybody else is just poor. Like, that's what is happening. And then I told him, hey, when you turn 25, at least your car insurance will go down. Hell no, he turned 25 and his car insurance went up $150. I tell him, if you need health insurance, get a good job. He has health insurance. He has had a medical emergency this week. Had to go to emergency room twice. He had to go to the emergency room because he couldn't get anybody to see him with the health insurance that he had. Right? So he had to go to an emergency room. Now he's out money for that too. It seems like you can never get ahead. And then my daughter, I told her all you have to do because she wanted to buy her own house. My daughter worked 6 days a week, 12 hours a day to save up enough for this down payment. Finally got this house. She's paying double what I'm paying for my mortgage, but her loan was the same amount. And then her mortgage company, after she's already moved in, said, oh, by the way, we forgot to tell you that you need this type of coverage, which we forgot at the beginning. That's an extra $200 you've been paying a month. And all they see when they come home is they watch social media, kids their age, on lavish vacations with all this money and nothing to do, all these social media influencers, because we value those types of things over hard workers. We will pay them $10,000, but you work 40 hours a week, you can't afford it.
In today's economy, do you think a couple that brings home $100,000 is enough to support a small family of like 3 to 4 people? I asked this because I made a post yesterday about how Americans are really struggling, and it was really sad and eye-opening to me to see the amount of people who said, I make 6 figures now, yet we're still struggling. And I don't mean, is it enough to buy like luxuries? I just mean, is $100,000 enough to live comfortably without having to live paycheck to paycheck. I remember like 12 years ago, my mom told me about this couple I knew who were making like a combined salary of $110,000. And at that point in my life, 20s, I'm thinking, what a dream, what a goal it was for me to be able to say one day that my husband and I were making like $110,000. And now here I am in 2023, and I'm like, it's not the dream life anymore. Like, if someone would have told me my husband and I would be making what we're making and still having to cut back on necessities, I would have been like, you have to be kidding me. Like, we didn't even go on a vacation this year because the last thing I'm going to do is put a vacation on a credit card, but we didn't have extra money to bring our kids on a vacation, and we both have good jobs. So if you think $100,000 is enough, I'm curious, what's your location? Do you not have children? Like, why do you think it's enough? Because I'm telling you, from yesterday's post on here, the comments say different, and the comments say that a majority of Americans are really, really struggling, and I mean hardworking Americans. So
I'm this close to spending that last $400 on a one-way ticket.
Yes, book a one-way ticket out of the US if you are trying to save money. I think all of us can agree that it has become ridiculously expensive to live in the US. Many of us are living paycheck to paycheck and just continuing to accrue debt. And honestly, the only way that I saw out was to sell my house and to move to Bali. And if you don't have a house to sell, that's okay. Take what money that you have in savings and book a one-way ticket to an affordable country like Indonesia, Thailand, Ecuador, Colombia, Vietnam, Cambodia. The cost of living in these countries is less than $1,000. You can probably get it to $200 to $300 for a month. You can stay in hostels. You can house sit for people and have your accommodation completely calm. You can pet sit as well. But slaving in America is not it anymore. We are not the land of the free. We are the land of the slaves. We are common day slaves. All we do is work, eat, sleep, repeat. So if you're sick of struggling and living paycheck to paycheck, the only way that I see out is to leave the US indefinitely. And take it from somebody who has already done so last year. Life is so much better abroad.
If you don't like the US, if you don't like the direction that it's headed in, pack your bag and leave. It's the morning after the US election. I'm in the airport, as you can see, and this is your sign. You can just leave. I did it 2 years ago. I live in the UK now, and there's so many options. I hear a lot of people saying like, oh, I can't leave the US. I'm a broke college student. First of all, it's so easy to get a student visa in other countries, and you'll probably pay the same, if not less, to get a higher education. If you want to get a job abroad, I would ask ChatGPT to help you find something that aligns with what you're looking for, because there are so many great countries out there. I do highly recommend an English-speaking country. I think part of the reason moving to the UK has been so easy for me is because they obviously speak English. Just something to consider. But anyway, if I can do it, you can do it. Like, literally, get on a plane. You'll never look back. And if you're worried about your friends and family, it's so easy to go see them. The world is actually really small. You don't realize that in America. It is. So just leave. Like, literally, your life is not over. Promise.
So many people want to move from United States. I've been getting direct messages every single day. I moved from United States a couple of months ago with my entire family to Eastern Europe, Northern Europe. And here's the 5 top reasons why we left the United States. Number 1, access to good food, healthy, organic food at half the price. In the United States, there's many foods that you have that are actually banned in Europe. Second, healthcare. It's 3 times cheaper to get healthcare here. You can get a full panel of blood work for 100 euros. A professional private clinic is 50 euros per visit, a private one. And you can actually get one for probably for 10 or even free if you get in line. Third, childcare. It's absolutely unreasonable for mothers to bear children, give birth to children, and then get taxed at 50% of their income to pay for daycare. Daycare should be free. Hence, it's literally almost free in Europe. You get almost a year maternity leave. In the United States, you get 0 maternity leave. So the entire industry of childcare is like a business in the United States rather than a human right. Socially, people are way less divided than they are in the United States. In the United States, the moment you're red or blue, you just got to read the room, which room you walked in. Otherwise, you get attacked and all the other things. Last but not least, the politics. The politics in the United States shows us that trajectory for the next 10 years is not up. It's actually a slow degrade for the last 10 years, and it's not hard to do the math and look, the next 10 years is going to be